there really usually is not that type of relationship between someone and their ex.
We have a lot of housewives restraining order news this week, so let's get right into it. So Louis from the Real Housewives of New Jersey has been hit with a restraining order from his ex-fiancee, Vanessa Reiser, who claimed that he harassed her. So Reiser's attorney, Douglas Anton, alleged that Louis attempted to intimidate the therapist who specializes in narcissistic abuse. He told Us Weekly the allegation is that Louis hired Richard Bodidal's private investigation company to place his documented employee, Elaine Boxer, as a fraudulent undercover covert plant using the fake name Elena Birkenheimer to stalk, harass, and otherwise appear as a patient of his client under false pretenses. He claims that this patient visited Reiser 3 or 4 times, noting that she strangely asked about the psychologist's past relationship with Louis. And then the protective order, which was allegedly deemed confidential by the court, per Anton, was ultimately sought out of fear. Louis, who of course is married to Teresa Giudice, has not addressed the claims, but according to Anton, Louis and Vanessa last had contact in 2021. So how much trouble could Louis be in if this is true, if he hired a person to pretend to be a patient to get information of this woman?
I think Louis is actually going to be okay. This is shady. It may not be right, but I'm not sure it's illegal. Generally speaking, people can lie and people can engage in deceptive tactics to get information. Even police officers, they can lie to get information. So to the extent that there's an investigator or there's a plan who's there trying to fish for info, I think Louis is probably going to be okay. And there's certain instances where the conduct may be fraudulent and may be unlawful. But if you don't extract money or anything of value and you're just getting information, probably not going to be unlawful in most states.
Interesting. So you can hire a private investigator to plant a patient and you could be okay, because during the Real Housewives of New Jersey finale as well, a lot of other people on the cast were saying that Louis reached out to their kids and, hired this private investigator to get some more information. But what he is doing is totally legal.
Yeah, people can always ask for information, right? I mean, you don't have to provide it, and then you can ask, even using these types of deceptive means. But, being deceptive, again, absent some sort of fraud or something where you're trying to extract something of value, generally not going to be unlawful. Now, there's certain instances where there's a special relationship and you can't do these types of things, but, there really usually is not that type of relationship between someone and their ex.
Right. So the woman that they allegedly had as the patient, would she be involved in this as well, since she may have been paid by this private investigator to do this?
Potentially, the judge would grant this type of restraining order and prevent any type of contact, but absolutely. You can't contact someone through an intermediary, through an investigator, through a fake patient. All that would be off. But absent some sort of protective order or some other legal reason why this can't happen, it's fair game.
Yeah. So do you think that she will be granted this restraining order? Since is this considered harassment then, or is this just somebody trying to get information?
It's not your typical harassment. And again, harassment's like, you call someone repeatedly, show up at their house, their place of work, that type of thing. Trying to get information through a private investigator usually isn't considered harassment, because the court says, well, you're providing the information voluntarily. Now, of course, if you say, no, I don't want to see this person, I don't want to see the patient, I don't want to see the investigator, I don't want to see my ex, and they continue to show up, then yes, that could be considered harassment.
For more news, content, and exclusive interviews, make sure to hit the sub, like, and bell button down below and visit usmagazine.com.